we decided across the four nations to give people some clear boundaries around the Christmas period, rather than seek to prohibit any interaction altogether, or on the other hand, risk everyone just trying to set their own boundaries. And on balance, we and I still think that is the right approach to take. So we don't intend to take away the flexibility. That, in my view, wouldn't be fair at this stage, and it wouldn't be realistic either. And indeed, it may risk undermining rather than strengthening compliance with the overall COVID guidance. However, we and the Scottish Government do intend to strengthen the guidance we give to people about whether and how they should make use of the flexibility. The guidance in Scotland is already a bit tighter than elsewhere, but we hope we can come to a four nations agreement on a clear and united message to the public. But let me be clear, not all of what I'm about to say right now is yet agreed with other nations, and of course I cannot and would not try to speak for them. But I wanted to set out for you the key elements of the advice that the Scottish Government has been and will continue to give over the period ahead. Firstly and unequivocally, the safest way to spend Christmas this year for you and for those you love is to stay within your own household and in your own home. And my strong recommendation is that this is what you should do, if at all possible. Any interaction you do have with another household should, if at all possible, be outdoors. But if you do consider it essential to meet indoors with someone from another household, you should limit both the duration and the numbers as much as possible. And this point I want to stress in particular. The 5-day relaxation is a window of opportunity during which you can meet. It is not a period that we think it is safe or sensible to get together for. You should see it as a maximum, not a target. My recommendation is that if you do form a bubble, you should not meet up with people in it any more than on one day over that period if possible, and you should not stay overnight unless it is unavoidable. You should also limit numbers as far as possible. 3 households is a maximum that tries to account for the fact that families come in all shapes and sizes, but 2 would be better. In short, if you have to form a bubble, keep it as small as possible. In Scotland, we already advised an overall limit of 8 people, and I recommend that you stay firmly within that if you do feel you need to form a bubble, and again, the smaller the better. And lastly, we will recommend against travel from high prevalence to low prevalence areas of the UK, and we'll issue more detail on that shortly. Also, as I stressed on Monday, if you are intending to form a Christmas bubble, you should already be trying to reduce any unnecessary social contacts. And this year, for most people, all of what I've just run through there will be the safer choices to make, and I would encourage everybody to think very carefully about that. If you haven't made plans to form a bubble yet, please don't. If you are still swithering, please decide against. And if you have made plans but think they're not really essential, perhaps think about postponing until later in the year.